Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the former MVP Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons as they match up with Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Miami Dolphins. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, if you've been to South Florida this summer, and I know you have, you're familiar with this. Heavy rain. It's coming down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida as a moment ago the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and we finally made it, partner, through the winter, through the spring, now into the summer, and football finally back.
And during that time off, we all cherish our vacation time. But admit it, you're the same as me. When you were working out, when you were doing things, you thought about football, didn't you? And you couldn't wait to be back up here again.
So here is the punter, Matt Bosher, to get us started. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here to lead out the offense in his first year as a Dolphin, but 15th overall, it's the bearded veteran Ryan Fitzpatrick. And the new coaching staff coming in, they finally decided to pull the plug on the Ryan Tannehill era after 7 seasons and no playoff wins. So enter Ryan Fitzpatrick, signed in free agency, fittingly on St. Patrick's Day, by the way. But last year with Tampa Bay, you remember Fitzpatrick got off to that incredible start. Over 400 yards passing in each of the first 3 games of the year, 11 total touchdown passes. And now it's his time to do it with Miami. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. The Miami Dolphins starting lineup now, and Kenyon Drake, a guy to watch.
He has the ability to affect the game in so many different ways. In the return game, bringing it back himself. Also can be a gunner on the punt coverage team and did that very well at Alabama. But has the ability to run the ball in the backfield as well as catch it. Kenyon Drake, you can use him so many different ways.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Many people thought Keanu Neal was overdrafted by Atlanta, but they saw his talents and knew that he would fit their scheme perfectly. A hybrid player, can play deep in the secondary as a safety, can drop down into the box and also make a lot of tackles, and at times can stay on the field and serve a linebacker role as well.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. Now Drake loses the football, and the Falcons grab it, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. Freeman, who missed most of last season. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman.
Dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Fourth down, and out comes the Falcon kicker, Giorgio Tavecchio. From the left hash, this from 37. Tavecchio puts this one through, and the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. It'll continue to be interesting in these wet conditions how these kickers fare, but first test, passed.
And how about how the special teams unit handled that? A lot of concentration to make sure the ball didn't slip through his fingers. After the snap, got it down and let him pop it through the posts.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
Coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think Coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing Fitzpatrick. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On first down, Drake. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Check, 59. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's a baby shot.
On second and 11 now. Fitzpatrick, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Let's get off the field.
Now a draw play with Drake, and an alley to run. And he will get this to the midfield strike, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On fourth down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. Kenyon Barner, deep for Atlanta. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start first and 10. Ryan and the Falcons now come up first and 10 at the 20. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, second down. The stop for no gain brings up second and 10 from the 20. To throw is Ryan. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
Now Ryan, airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On fourth down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. And taken right at the 35. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it second and 4.
Second and 4 at the Falcons' 46-yard line.
On second down and 4, Fitzpatrick and Dwayne Allen on the ground. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's something we didn't see much of from Allen the last couple of years in New England. Heck, last season, 13 games, only 4 targets. But Miami going to try to get him more involved in the passing game as we saw there. And you know he has the capability. You think back to 2012, breaking in with Indy. He had 45 catches that season. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
On 2nd and 9, Fitzpatrick got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll run with Drake. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football.
Now on first down, Drake again. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Here's Fitzpatrick. And his throw here's incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes, even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete.
I'm going to hit you all day, baby.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. This one from 35 yards away. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Ryan, and it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Ryan, and finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Returnable for Grant. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
From the 17, Fitzpatrick, and his throw is incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. 4th-round guy, and many thought that's about where he would go, but I think he's got some upside, right?
He can come right in and be what they call a core special teams player, play on all 4 phases of it, and have a chance to work his way into the lineup. I think a year or 2 down the road, they could have a solid starter.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Man up, deep.
Running from the shotgun with Drake. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. J.J. Wilcox in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Fitzpatrick, and he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st down here. A give running right, Drake. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Kalen Ballage out of the backfield. And that takes us from second to third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll run with his second-year man from ASU, Kalen Ballage. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a fourth down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 3-0 after one on EA Sports.
Dolphins, nothing.
Down. 18 Gator. Go, go, go. Ready?
First throw off the bench for the veteran Schaub. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Eric Rowe that time able to knock that pass away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gray. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Shoot.
On 2nd and 12, Schaub. And he hits his target. This is Luke Stocker. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 22-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Ito Smith. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
And the judge does a nice job there of navigating and picking up some yardage. Remember, no Tevin Coleman in the backfield, so he's moved up in the pecking order, getting a lot of playing time for these Atlanta Falcons.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. On the ground, this is Smith. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 2nd and 7, Schaub. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. A first throw for the backup, Rosen. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A draw play now. Balaj.
That's it, baby.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Schaub. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Smith. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A quick throw into the hands of Hardy. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
On 2nd and 11 now. Schaub, and that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now Schaub.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll set them back 5.
That penalty is declined.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Game situation. Let's go.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rosen. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They had a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He has not been on his A game, but his team has really picked him up. I think he probably now, second quarter, he's thinking, all right, time for me to get going.
And he also has to keep in mind that he has contributed. You're exactly right. Not totally on his A game, but guess what?
He's got the touchdown.
He's got a touchdown pass. Yes, he tempered it with an interception, but he has contributed, and he just can't get down and worry about his own stats. The team's winning. That's cause for celebration, even though there's a ways to go.
And now he'll be looking to contribute a little bit more. Throwing on second down. Chubb. They'll set up the screen to Smith. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
This is brought in by Hardy. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 23 yards, the final tally.
Justin Hardy's sort of an undersized guy at 5'10", but he runs physical and he runs tough. In fact, his teammates call him the Wolf because of his special teams play. How about that play right there? Nice job picking up the first down.
The first update now from a game going on in Cleveland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Schaub now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. They'll run it now with Smith. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 39.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Schaub now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. On the carry, here's Smith. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Here we go, set, 18, Gator.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
A first down carry for Smith. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd and 2, Schaub. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here.
A 31-yard attempt.
The kick by Tavecchio is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Here's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
The drive will commence with a run by Balaj. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They run it with Balaj. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Check. Check. 42's the mic. Check pass. Check pass.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 30. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Rosen now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Wide open receiver complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. The end result, 21 yards. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Bryce Butler, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Rosen to throw again. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They're able to hold them to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So they do get to 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you get some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Spence breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. It is back to football for 22 teams here on this Thursday night, minus the Broncos and Falcons who played last week. And we want to remind you that we are now 28 days away from the opener of the 100th season of NFL football. The Packers and the Bears at Soldier Field. In our game, most of the starters have made their cameo and departed, but plenty of youngsters out there with a lot to gain or lose as we get you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Around the NFL, they're into the second quarter in the Meadowlands. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Eli Manning, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one.
Go now. 70, Indy. Screen.
Second half begins with a run by Smith. The safety, Rashad Jones, brings him down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's Sean. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by T.J. McDonald. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And now it's Rosen looking, and he fires one incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On the delay, it's Balaj. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the first down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be fourth down now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Chubb. His throw incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. He'll field this at the 5. Powerful running. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the...
And now nothing but green ahead of him. 30, past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kalen Ballage, 78 yards. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. This is taken at about the 14. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Well, what made that toss out to the right so successful? Because it looked pretty easy.
A belief in the play, an absolute execution by all 11 on the offensive side of the ball. Everyone took care of their assignment, but the reason they did so, every time that play's called, they think it's going to go for big yardage. It's their staple play, and they love to run it.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Balaj. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That good for 19 and a first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Down Balaj. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Let's go. 180. And let's get in that
And they'll throw it with Rosen. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 20-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
They'll run here with Balaj. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Rosen. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, and it's 3rd and 5. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll run it here. This is Mark Walton. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nate Orchard coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
2nd and 14. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He would.
And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Sanders on for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Here we go.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They're looking to turn things around here. They've been shut down in this 3rd quarter, and that was after a good first half offensively.
And you wonder where it all goes, and it feels like it goes away fast because it takes some time to build up good momentum, great play calling, excellent execution, and then like a blink of an eye, you're losing the game. How do you get back there again? I'm sure they've talked about it, and they've got a plan. Now can they put it into practice?
The lead gone, now the search to find it again. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Shaw. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. That one goes for 24 yards. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard just throwing it around, probably with his dad, he thought about playing in the NFL. He dreamed of it. But to put up these kind of numbers while doing so, that's got to be kind of cool for him. He'll enjoy the heck out of thinking about that when this one is over.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 41. Now it's Smith, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Let's go now. 30 base.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
On 2nd and 12, Shaw, throw left side complete. It's Gray, and he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 30.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Let's go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go, dude. Here I come.
This is Smith. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd and 9, Shaw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's looking sharp here so far in the 3rd quarter, Charles.
It appears that the halftime gave him a little bounce. Came out, spring in his legs, a little pep in his step, and he's taking off and running really well in the 3rd quarter.
Sometimes we talk about how guys don't want halftime to come. I think some guys, they're happy when that break gets there.
You never know which way it's going to go. He's taking advantage of it in this one, though.
They'll start with a give here to Balaj. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
On 2nd and 7, Rosen gets it to Bryce Butler complete.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
53, Mike 53. You.
The play fake to Balaj. Now Rosen. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Rosen now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. That last play, though, not indicative of the night he's had running the football.
No, you're exactly right about that, because all through this evening, it's been their night, hasn't it? One play here, they get it against them. I wouldn't worry about that very much at all. Just continue to do what they've been doing.
Check. 80. Check. 53 is mine. All day, baby. All day.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rosen throwing the out route incomplete. That's Grant. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 45-yard line.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Rosen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Rosen in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a carry for Walton. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Tackle made by Bruce Carter. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. From the 30 on 2nd down, Rosen. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. In for the score. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. A 10-play drive that time. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They begin with a run by Smith. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
You got nothing.
2nd and 10. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now back to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
From the 29, Rosen.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 3rd down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And it's taken in at the 9. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the 1st down run. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. From the 24, Shaw. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. On the draw, this is Smith. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Let's rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. He'll look to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll start on the ground with Balaj. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Now an open man, that's the tight end Gesicki. It's complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. So the solid run on 1st, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen. Vic Beasley making it look easy, cruising in for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. Get this. You're all mine.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the 1st as the tackle is made at the 33. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
2nd and 6 at the 17-yard line.
From the 17, Shaw. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores. And they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, they run with Smith. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's what I'm talking about.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. It's hauled in by Hardy. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Ready to break.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. A give to Smith out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Come on, set. 90, Wolf.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Shoot.
On 2nd and 11 now. Chubb trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Sean. Stocker's got it, complete. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Smith. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Shaw. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Are you sure?
Well, a lot of the runners kind of know. But I'll guarantee you, someone has sent word into the offensive line that he's got a chance to get over 200 on this drive. That should give them a little extra motivation because they love it when backs break that barrier.
Absolutely. Let's see if he can do it. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Rosen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On 3rd down, Rosen. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So possession goes over here on the punt. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Smith. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down and 4, Sean. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, 1st down Falcons.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Smith. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Ready?
On 2nd and 12, Shaw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
After the penalty, it's Smith.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Second and 6. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. They'll set up to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively jars it free. No first down.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Oh, here we go. Oh.
From the 39, Rosen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
And a grab over the middle by Stocker. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Come on, set.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll look to throw here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching